Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. So on today's video we are going to be learning how to cut and sew this cowl neck top with a collar. If that's something you're interested in, come with me and let's get started. Here we have our pattern paper, our scissors, and our fabric that we're going to be needing. When you draft your pattern, you only need one pattern to achieve both front and back.
That's all I wanna do. I hope that you are safe and that I will see you soon.
You're going to be needing at least 2.5 yards of this. I'm using a Duchess fabric. You can use any kind of fabric you want as long as it is a soft one. You can notice also that there is no zipper allowance at the back because it's not going to be needed on this very cloth. So here we're just going to pin this down and cut.
And I know that you're right, but you should know.
That's the back, and it is very simple. It's literally just how you cut the back. Now we're going to go over and do the front, and what we're going to do is first I gave this a 1.5 inch line from the chest line. I measured down 1.5, and then I ruled the line from that point all the way to the armhole, and this is so I can slash and spread and get my cowl neck. So we're going to cut this, but we're not going to cut it all the way out. If you see where I stopped, you should stop there as well. Don't cut it all the way out, but if you have mistakenly cut all the way out, you can just use a tape to hold it back down. So this is the pattern paper on the fabric spread like so. Now it's you that's going to decide how low you want your cowl to be. I actually wanted mine to be like A9. I really wanted it to go down, so I'll still spread it more, but first I'm going to hold the remaining sides with my pin so I can decide on what to do for the cowl neck. So here I'm just going to spread this till I get what I want for the cowl neck, and this is going to be measuring 9, so I'm okay with that right now. And I'm just going to pin this down, and the next thing we're going to do is trace. After tracing, you want to get your neckline sorted out, so we're going to find out where like the middle of the neckline is, and that part right there is where the collar is going to be stopping. So what you're going to do is notch it so you don't forget. After making the notch, you want to go ahead and cut the remaining places out.
I hope that you are safe and that I will see you soon. If I can lay down beside you, I would.
Okay guys, so this is what we have for the cowl neck for the front. So I'm just going to go ahead and notch that part again so it can be more visible for me, and this is what it looks like when it's opened. This is what yours should look like. So I'm just going to put this down, and you see how deep the cowl neck for me is. Let's go over and cut the collar out. So here I have a collar pattern. I also have this up on my channel just in case you are interested on learning how to cut a collar. I have it up on my channel, and I'll also link it down in the description box so you can see it. So this collar is measuring at a length 18, but I need a 19. So what I'm going to do is leave 1/2 inch at the bottom. But before we do anything, see how I folded this? I didn't fold this into a box shape. I folded it into a triangle so it will be easier and longer. And I don't really want to sew the upper side, so I'm just going to leave it that way and then add half an inch allowance to everything and cut. So this is what it looks like, and this is what I meant when I said I don't want to sew like the top. I just want the top to be okay. And I'm going to add paper stay to this because I don't want it to move too much. I don't want it to be too free on my neck, so I'm just going to add paper stay. As for the facing of the front, I'm going to be using a lining piece because my fabric is not enough. So what I'm going to do is just trace out everything, and your facing should stop under your armhole, not over, under for the front. But I wanted something different, so I went ahead to cut first so that I could get so the lining piece and the main piece could be together, and then I measured a length 15, and then I cut everything. And this is the back piece, you guys. Basically what you want to do for the facing is just trace out the neckline. I'm going to use a pin to hold this so it doesn't move too much at all. And here we have it. I'm just going to slack this, and this is what we have for the facing of the back. So now that we have the facing of the back and the front, we're going to put this together. So right sides facing each other, and you want to put shoulder to shoulder. I'm going to use a pin to hold this, not because I'm not good at what I do, but because I want to have a neat work. So I'm going to use a pin to hold both shoulders together, and then go ahead to sew by half an inch. Okay, we have that put together. The next thing we're going to do is put both shoulders together to get the midpoint of the back neckline. So when you're convinced that you have the middle, all you're going to do is notch. Just give it a little notch so you can get the middle of the back. And then the next thing you're going to do is get your collar. This is what our collar looks like, and we're just going to sew the edges by half an inch for the collar. We're going to close it by half an inch. So this is what mine looks like on both sides, and I already went ahead to notch it. So what we're going to do is place the notched part of the collar onto the notched part of the back neckline, and we're going to pin this down. What we're going to do is pin it all the way to get to where we notched for the neckline to stop, and we'll sew. This is what we have for our top, and you can see that it's already coming to life. The next thing we're going to do is place both facings, right sides facing each other, and we're going to close by half an inch, just like we did on the main piece. So this is what we have, and we're okay with that. The next thing we're going to do is place the lining piece onto the main piece, and before we do that, we're going to do shoulder to shoulder to get the midpoint of the neckline for the facing of the back, and we're going to notch that. We're going to be placing the facing of the front onto the back, right sides facing each other, but we want to start from where we have our notch, so that way we can find the midpoint and we don't get to miss our way when sewing. One part doesn't have to be bigger than the other. So what we're going to do is place notched side to notch side, and then we're going to pin this down, and then I'm just going to pin around this all the way around, all the way to the front. I'm going to pin it all the way to the front, from the lining piece to the main piece, all the way to the front. And what this is going to do for me is going to give me a nice finish when I'm done. It's going to give me a nice finish when I turn it over. So the sewing is going to be on the inside, that way nobody can actually see it. And then I'm going to top stitch. So I'm going to also close like the side by the allowance that I gave earlier, and then we'll come back and show you the final piece. So this is what it looks like, and you can see that the sewing of going inward actually really did help because we have a neat finish. I'm going to go ahead and weave this later on. Yeah, this is everything. And for the sleeve, you guys, you can fix any kind of sleeve you want, but my fabric was not enough to even make any kind of sleeve, so I'm just going to have to buy the same fabric and then fix my sleeve. But you can fix any kind of sleeve you want. I have a video up on my channel on how to draft a basic sleeve pattern, so you can go and check that out and then make your own sleeve pattern and then make your sleeve and fix your sleeve on your cloth. But this is it for me. I'm going to be uploading the picture up on my Instagram so you can see the finished result, and I'm also going to put a hemming gum there and weave. I'm going to weave first, then put a hemming gum and then iron, so that place sits just fine. But yeah, this is everything. I hope you actually did learn something. I hope you had fun learning. Please, you guys, do not forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified when I post a new video. Don't forget to love yourself because I love you. Bye.